Hi there, it's Nicole Spohr and welcome back to my channel. Today is another exclusive limited edition collaboration between Simon Says Stamp and Memory Box, and we're going to be creating Polychromos on Kraft Cardstock. This is one of my favorite simple looks, and this card comes together so quickly and easily. I am using the beautiful floral image as well as the leaves and sentiments from the Simon Says Stamp Memory Box True Friend stamp set. I decided to stamp these on Neenah Desert Sand Smooth White Cardstock, and I'm so sorry that I had to lean over it to get the images lined up just so, and I am stamping upside down because that just seemed to work best for how I was working today. But I have these images in my MISTI, and I started with the large floral and the sentiment first. I'm going to stamp those with a clear embossing ink and then heat emboss with white embossing powder. I did stamp them a couple of times to make sure that I had really good coverage over the entire image. I'm going to tap off that excess ink now and then heat emboss these images. Now I could have left it as is. I knew already that I wanted to take the Hello Friend sentiment from the True Friend stamp set and stamp that on a separate piece of cardstock, but I thought the little leafy branch was so pretty that it would look cute coming down from the upper left corner of the card. So I am going to stamp that next and then color everything in. Something to keep in mind when you're using your Polychromos is a pencil sharpener is a must. It makes the coloring so much easier, especially because you want to try as much as possible not to color over the white embossed line. You can change the color of the white embossing or kind of dull it if you don't stay within those lines. So I always just try to keep a very sharp pencil and then, of course, try to stay within the lines as much as possible. After I have everything stamped and embossed, I am going to take a white Polychromos colored pencil and lay that down first. In fact, I'm going to do that for all of the areas of this design. I find that you get much nicer results when coloring over a colored cardstock, and that's any color of cardstock, if you lay that white layer down first. It gives you a nice base, plus it also kind of helps blend out the colored pencils a lot easier. I'm using Hooker's Green and May Green colored pencils. I have listed the colors of the Polychromos colored pencils that I'm using across the top of the screen, as well as on my blog post that coordinates with this project. So definitely check that out in the description below the video here on YouTube. I love these colors together, and I think they look amazing for all the greenery. I kept it super simple today, and my color combinations are all greens, a little yellow and orange, and then red or reddish orange for the petals on my flowers. I really personally love how the red looks against the craft, and so I wanted something kind of showstoppery for my flowers. This is going to work with any kind of image stamp set that you have. I especially love this technique with florals, as I think that it's a really beautiful way to create amazing backgrounds. The center of my flowers is all dark cadmium yellow and red, a light red. I laid down a little red first. I blended out with my yellow. Actually, first I did a white layer, then yellow and the red. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the leaves really quick. So that nice white layer, and then my green colors before coloring in the petals of my flowers. I have not used my Polychromos in a while, and every time I do, I think, why do I not use these more? Colored pencils, Prismacolor colored pencils were actually my first love. I still have them, but the Polychromos they color a little bit more, I don't know, maybe blend a little bit better, I want to say. I just really, really like how they apply. They're less waxy. Prismacolors are a little waxy and these aren't, and I think I really like that about these particular colored pencils. So from the center of my flower, I lay down a pretty heavy area of red, and then out towards the edge of the petals, I went back in with more of that orangish color. Neither of the colors are actually called orange. It just has more of an orangish tint to it, which I really liked to get all of that great texture. And of course, the layer of white pencil first. Sometimes I do a heavier hand of white colored pencil, but I just did a light coloring here. And then I did zoom in a little bit. I thought I was a little too far away. I wish I would have done that for all of the coloring, but hopefully this gives you a really good idea. So here I switched it up and did the outer light part of the petal first and then went in with the dark. This was very fast coloring. I was amazed at how fast this card came together. The thing that took the longest for me was the first color of cardstock I tried to use. I was going to go with navy and do a different kind of color, and I just did not love it. And so I ended up going with Kraft, which for some reason, I go in phases, I guess I want to say, and lately I've just been loving my Kraft Cardstock again. And I had this scrap left over from another project, and so I grabbed it and stamped it, and it ended up just being perfect. I really, really love the results. So the other thing that I have been enjoying is a splattering of white over my background. Because of a super simple design and a one layer design, up until this point, I really felt like any little thing you can do to add interest to your card is instantly going to just kind of take it up to that next level, even though it is a fairly simple design. So once I have all of my colored pencil work done, I am going to splatter it with a little white, and then I am going to let that completely dry while I stamp and emboss the rest of the sentiment for my card. So there are several sentiments to choose from here. The smaller sentiments, of course, I'm using friendship is made up of a million little things. There's thanks for being a true friend, do all things with love, and you are braver than you know. There's also a little individual flower petal in this set if you want to add that. Here I've watered down the white just a little bit, and I'm splattering it all over my background. And then, of course, I'm going to let that dry. I didn't go too heavy with my splatter, I don't think. I just want a nice mix of little splatters and then some bigger droplets. I thought it would be fun to do a contrasting color of cardstock for the rest of my sentiment. And so we are going to be using some Hero Hues palm cardstock for the rest of that sentiment. This panel does measure 4 by 5¼ inches, and I adhered it to a white top fold card base so that it has that nice white border all the way around that ties into our white embossing. I stamped Hello Friend on the Hero Arts palm cardstock. I'm going to heat emboss this and then die cut it with my favorite Simon Says Stamp Sentiment Labels dies. I don't even bother to put these away anymore. I have a little magnetic paw holder that I got from an Etsy shop that is right above my die cutting machine that I have my 3 favorite sizes of sentiment strip dies on. The 3 smaller sizes, the ones I use the most, because that way I can grab and go really quickly. I placed foam adhesive on the back of that strip and popped it on my card. The final thing we're going to do, and for all of you who follow me, you already know, we're going to add some little red hearts to the design. This adds just another layer of interest to our card, plus I love that little extra pop of red. Once we have these adhered, our card is all finished. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for another limited edition exclusive stamp set from the Simon Says Stamp STAMPtember 2021 release. This is from Memory Box and it is called True Friend. Please remember all of the exclusive limited edition sets are a one run, so when they're gone, they're gone. The supplies I used to create my card are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring Simon Says Stamp STAMPtember 2021 exclusives that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell to never miss a new card making video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.